Hi, I'm Patrick Aston, and I'm here to tell you about NatureScot's journey to the cloud. I'm going to do that by answering 3 questions for you. Why we did it, what we did, and how it is now that we're live. We've been live for almost a year now. So let's explore the need to change, and I'll start by telling you about NatureScot itself. You may know us better as Scottish Natural Heritage, but we recently renamed ourselves to reflect our focus on nature, because we are Scotland's nature agency. We've got about 700 people scattered across Scotland. So in 2017, we conducted a review of our e-business suite because we've been using that since 2003 and starting off with financials and then adding other modules as we went along. But we'd seen that Oracle had an increased focus on their cloud offering, and that was reflected in what we believed was the risk of less innovation and less support happening to their e-business suite system. So we thought it was time to take a step and think about where we wanted to be for, take a strategic review and look at where we wanted to be for the next decade. So that was initiating it, but there were other drivers behind this as well. One of those was business transformation, because once you put in a system like an e-business suite or any sort of ERP, you tend to lock in the business processes, and it's very hard to update and change those business processes if they're locked into a system. So business transformation, looking at a new system would give us a chance to improve processes and set us up better for the future. We wanted to improve the usability. We'd had a lot of feedback from the organization that the system we had was a bit dated and clunky in its user interface, and so we wanted to see what a more modern system could give us, and we wanted to reduce the risk of being left on a out-of-date legacy system and relying on technical skills in our IT department that were becoming increasingly scarce and difficult to source. So why did we choose Oracle Cloud? We looked at cloud systems first because the Scottish Government digital strategy, and in fact the UK government digital strategy, both have a cloud first element to them. So we looked at a number of different cloud ERP and HCM systems on the market at the time, and we compared those to our business requirements, and for us, Oracle Cloud came out top. The key differentiator being the maturity of their UK payroll offering. After completing that review of the market, we went and spoke to other cloud customers, in particular the Office of National Statistics and HM Treasury, and learned from them what their projects were like and what it was like now that they were live, and did the reality of live up to the hype of the sales pitches, and we used that to inform our own project. And bringing us nicely into our journey. And here's the team. This isn't all of them, but it's there's a mixture of 2 different organizations here, and we worked with Evosys as our implementation partner, and although it's shown on the screen here as being 2 lists of, and it might appear as 2 teams, in reality we functioned as a single team. We worked so closely together. We had the majority of the Evosys implementation leads were co-located, embedded within our team on site for the majority of the project, and we functioned really closely together, and that was instrumental in the success of the project. Evosys as well had a centre of excellence we drew on their staff both at key stages, and also if we came across issues, and being able to draw on their expertise was really valuable. And they also had an offshore team which we were able to use for tasks which we didn't need an on-site presence for, stuff like the data, loading the data into the Oracle Cloud and building the reports, which could easily be done remotely. But it's a big project. lot of people to coordinate, and the main challenges for me as a project manager was the pace of work, the volume, and the complexity. It was the scale of the project was significant, and for the whole organization, not just for me, but for the rest of the organization, it was completely different to anything we'd done before, and it was a great challenge. On top of that, we had business as usual. The world doesn't stop just because you're doing a project, and the people not all the people that we needed to rely on could be dedicated to the project, and that was a challenge to manage through that and deliver both. No project is without issues, and for us, data migration was a challenge. It was we had good quality data in the e-business suite, but getting it out into the right format at the pace required for the project was a challenge. And we struggled to rise to that challenge initially, but we got there. The quarterly updates that to the system that Oracle provide to the Fusion system are welcome in terms of releasing additional functionality and fixing issues, but they are a challenge when you're working in a project, because you're trying to hit a moving target. The system that you're testing may go through another update before you actually go live, so that's a challenge. We're part of the UK Civil Service Pension Scheme, and it has an exceptionally complex pension interface, and that was one of the biggest challenges of the project, is getting that to work effectively. And finally, invoice scanning. We already had our own invoice scanning with the e-business suite. It was something we'd through a third party, and it was configured exactly to meet our requirements. We'd expect that we were able to migrate smoothly to the invoice scanning solution provided as part of the Oracle Cloud, but to do that would have been a loss in some of the functionality, and we made a business decision to stick with our current solution and build an interface to that. So that was a change in the project, but it was but that all worked. That didn't stop us. Now we've been live for over a year, and reflecting on what that's like, some things are better, some things aren't, and that was uncomfortable, but on the whole, most of the business areas have seen improvements, and obviously it's taken time to adjust and adapt, and this transition periods are always difficult, but we've seen some significant improvements in many business areas. The quarterly updates are, as I said, both a blessing and a curse, and it does feel that it's just a never-ending series of testing and retesting, but the innovations and incremental improvements given from these are are so valuable. If you've ever been through the pain of a major upgrade to an on-premise ERP system, such as the R12 upgrade for Oracle e-business suite, then you will know just how painful those updates are. They are major projects, whereas a quarterly update is so much smaller and so much less painful that this is a much better approach. And the beauty of it is that you're always on the latest system. You're never falling behind. You're never out of support. It's such a big difference. It's a truly different world. So looking back, we've met our key business drivers. We've delivered some major improvements, particularly to the recruitment process. We've completely transformed that, and it's so much more efficient and effective than it was before. The new system is so much easier to use, particularly for those people in the organization who do not use it on a daily basis. They have to dip in and out. And the new modern user interface, it's more intuitive, and it's more similar to the applications they use in their everyday life. And we've reduced the risk because, like I said, we're on a system that's fully supported, and we're on the latest version, and we believe that it will serve us well for at least another decade, if not longer. And that's a major achievement. So to reflect on the key lessons, I mean, we learned from others in doing this, and if you're going to go through this process, I encourage you to do the same. Oracle uses the phrase adopt, don't adapt. So you adopt the product rather than trying to adapt it. And that means you're going to have to change. But I would say, don't see that as have to change, but it's an opportunity there, because why would you not want to be on the industry standard best practice? Just because that's the way you've always done it doesn't mean it's the best way of doing it. So it's an opportunity to move on to something that may be better than how you've been doing it in the past. Oracle often provide an implementation success manager to help you through the project, and you really use them. They can be of so much value if you've got issues, and there will always be issues in the project. They can mobilize and access resources within Oracle that can help accelerate the resolution of those issues. And finally, I'm a huge fan of Cloud Customer Connect. It's a site that Oracle provides that gives you access to a whole range of support documentation, forums, learning materials, and also to influence the future direction of the Oracle Cloud product. So thank you for your time, and I wish you every success in the future.